So the first step is identifying the properties for each shape. We went ahead and did that together. Part 2, you're going to label the shapes that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Notice there's 4, 4, 4, exactly one pair of opposites, so only one pair, not both. There's only 2 shapes. And then exactly one pair of opposite angles. I think that should say is congruent. Here, identify the quad. We're not going to worry about that one, so we can cross that one off. Part 4, parallelograms. We spent a whole day over properties of parallelograms, so I'm going to let you do that yourself later. But what I do want to focus in on is rectangles. And so we're going to talk about some of the properties of rectangles, some of the properties of kites, some of the properties of rhombus, plural would be rhombi, squares, and a trapezoid. And then we will not be doing this either. So let's start off with rectangles. So rectangle, if AC equals 4x minus 60, so 4x minus 60, AC would be from here to there. That's 4x minus 60. And then we know that BD is 30 minus x. BD would be from here to here. We also know it's a rectangle. So let's go see what we know about that. This would be called a diagonal of a rectangle. On a rectangle, the diagonals are congruent. So that's my equal sign. I would say this diagonal equals this diagonal. So I would say 4x minus 60 equals 30 minus x. From there I would use algebra, possibly add x to both sides. There's one way. You get 5x minus 60 is equal to 30. And then you could add 60 to both sides. You get 5x. And this is using a lot of algebra 1. 5x is 90. Divide by 5. Divide by 5, you get x is 15. Now they didn't ask me to find x, they said find BD. So to find BD, I need to plug 15 back in. So BD would equal 30 minus x. But x is 15. 30 minus 15 is 15. So BD is 15. Now if I want to check my work, if the red is 15, the blue should be 15. So let's check our work. What about AC? AC would be 4x minus 60. But I know x is 15. 4 times 15 is 60. 60 minus 60 is 0. So there is no way that's the correct answer. So I need to go back and look at it again. So this is why you check your work, because AC equals 0 makes no sense. That would mean that the side length is nothing. So I found my mistake. 90 divided by 15 is 18. So x is 18. Which means when you plug it back in, that's 30 minus 18. That makes that 12. And when you plug x in here, 4 times 18 is 72. 72 minus 60, that makes that 12. So it's always important to check your work for that very reason. So all they really asked for here, though, was this part. What is BD? So here's all they wanted. So now that's talking about side lengths. AC, this is going to talk about angles. So if angle BAC, so BAC. So they're talking about this angle right here. That's angle BAC. And then they say angle CAD, so that would be CAD, that'd be this angle. So they want us to find the measure of angle CAD. So they want me to find the measure of this yellow angle. Well, it's a rectangle. What do I know about the angles of a rectangle? Let's go look. On a rectangle, the angles are 90 degrees. So because the angles are 90 degrees, that's my equation. I would say the purple or fuchsia plus yellow is 90 degrees. So my equation would be 4x plus 5 plus 5x minus 14 is equal to 90. Because this angle plus this angle is 90 degrees. From there, combine like terms. 4x and 5x is 9x. 5 minus 14 is minus 9. Add 9 to both sides. Get 9x is equal to 99. Divide 99 by 9. And you get x is 11. Now they don't want the value of x, they want the value of CAD. So I need to plug 11 back in here. So CAD, the angle, the formula for that is 5x minus 14. But I know x in this case is 11. Not to be confused with the other x we found. So that'd be 5 times 11 minus 14. That's 55 minus 14. That is 41. That's 41 degrees. I could plug in here and just double check. If I plug in 11 in here, angle BAC, would be 4x plus 5, but x is 11. So that would be 44 plus 5 is 49. And notice 49 plus 41, that is 90. Just to double check my work. But all they wanted was CAD, so this is all they wanted for the answer. So the angle of CAD, the measure of angle CAD is 41 degrees. If DE equals 13, so they're saying from here to here is 13. Find CE. So what is this? Alright, well let's go look at the properties of a rectangle. The diagonals are congruent, and because a rectangle is a parallelogram, we also know the diagonals cut each other in half. So I know if this is 13, because it's also a parallelogram, this is 13. So the whole thing's 26. And we just said that in a rectangle, the diagonals are the same. They're the same, and they cut each other in half. So if this is 26, that has to be 26, which means this is going to be 13 also, which means this is going to be 13. So the length of CE, you'd say 13. So ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid. That means that this side equals this side, and it says it has these bases, and the median is EF. So what does it mean to be a median? That is not on your paper. Here's the median. The median means it goes right down the middle. So you cut this in half right down the middle, cut that in half right down the middle. Now, how do you find the length of the median? You just take the top base, plus the bottom base, add them together, divide by 2. So you add that plus that, divide by 2. And that'll tell you how long the median is. So they told me EF is a median. They say DC is 30. So I know that DC is 30. And they tell me AB is 42. And they want me to find that median. Well, the formula said to find the median, you just take this plus this divided by 2. So we're going to take 30 plus 42. So EF equals 30 plus 42, which equals 72. Divide that by 2, and you get 36. So EF is 36. If angle A is 5x, so angle A would be this whole angle right here. This angle is 5x. And angle D is 4x. That'd be this angle. Find the value of x. Well, this is an isosceles trapezoid. Let's go see what do we know about these two angles. Isosceles trapezoid right here. Parallel sides. Both base angles are congruent. Opposite angles are supplementary. Notice that is not true for a regular trapezoid, but opposite angles are supplementary. Now, opposite in a parallelogram are congruent, but in a isosceles trapezoid, these add up to 180. Notice it says the angle with one blue and the angle with two blue add up to 180. So let's see if we have that. We do not. We would say D plus B is 180. Alright, so if this is 4x and it's isosceles trapezoid, we know that this angle equals this angle. So I know that D equals C. So D equals C. I also know that A equals B. And so I can set these equal, because opposite angles are congruent. So I could say that 5x equals 4x. Subtract 4x from both sides, and I get x, well, that'd be 1 equals x. Alright, looking back, these angles are not congruent. They're actually supplementary. So my equation really should be 5x plus 4x equals 180. So 9x equals 180. Take 180 divided by 9, x would be 20. I knew if I plugged 1 in, that wasn't going to work, so I'd end up with an angle of 4 and an angle of 5. That wasn't going to work. So I know this part was the wrong thinking. So that means x is 20. So angle A would be 5 times 20. That'd be 100. Which means B would be 100. Because A and B are the same. D would be 4 times 20. That'd be 80. Which means this one's 80. And then to check my work, I know if I take 100 plus 100 plus 80 plus 80, I should get 360. And so that'd be 200, 280, 360. Yep. So checking my work, that does equal 360.